189 sub 2 second bill drill. I promised you guys I would do a range video as well, along with the part 1 dry fire. If you haven't seen that, go to my page and go look at that. I would recommend doing a lot of dry fire to try to make this happen. But the way I see this, there's kind of two different camps people live in when they aren't able to get the sub 2 second bill drill. Camp 1 is they're just not fast enough. I would call these people the turtles, right? They don't move their hands fast enough. They're not efficient with their movement. They can't pull the trigger fast enough, stuff like that. And there's some things that we can do here at the range. And again, I would tell you to go ahead and watch my dry fire video. That portion is really going to help someone who is slow. Typically that person is super focused on getting a really tight group on the target, and a lot of times they just need to let go of the accuracy portion for a little bit and figure out the speed, and then go ahead and add the accuracy back into it. The second camp I want to talk about is someone who's very fast. They can hit the par time, but they can't seem to get the hits all in the A zone. Let's start with camp 1. If you cannot make the par time, but your hits are good, I mean, you've simply got to go faster. There's actually one trick. Well, there's two tricks I'd recommend. The first trick is going to be a little bit more difficult because it involves trying to find someone who actually to shoot with who actually can do a sub 2 second bill drill. And I would actually race them on the timer, right? I would stand right next to each other, have two targets, and race your buddy and see if you can beat him. A lot of times that's kind of just the motivation you need to go ahead and meet the par time, you know, kind of push you in the right direction as far as speed. So definitely getting a buddy who's faster than you and racing him is one way I've seen people, you know, finally achieve the 2 second bill drill. That's actually how I've had some people that I've taught get the 2 second bill drill. I've just told them, go ahead and race me and see if you can beat me. Don't worry about the hits. Let's just see if you can beat me out of the holster and pull the trigger 6 times fast enough. Kind of leads into my next little trick here. I would say just remove the target completely. You know, the first step to this is getting, you know, figuring out what it feels like to get it out of the holster and fire 6 shots, right? And if you're super worried about getting them all on target or all in the alpha, you know, it's going to be really hard to like really push that speed. So take the target completely out of the equation and then just dump 6 rounds into the berm, right? I still actually use this technique when I'm trying to shave, you know, 5 1/100ths off, or, you know, 1/10 off my bill drill. I'll just dump them into the berm and feel what it feels like to just let go of the target for a minute. And just gonna demo that real quick. I'm not even gonna shoot the target, right? And let's see how fast I can go. Right, I shaved 1/10 off my first bill drill. See, let's do it again. Another 5 1/100ths off of that one. So it's definitely, you know, let go of the accuracy portion. Try to just do the thing, do all the movements and pull the trigger fast enough, right? Let's move on to the hosers, right? People who can get the gun out, they can pull the trigger really fast, but they can't seem to keep them all in the A zone. My recommendation is just a lot of recoil control and marksmanship at the range. Really the only drill I use for this in its entirety is to, and it's a great drill to go ahead and what's the word I'm trying to think of, isolate just the accuracy and recoil control portion of this. And it's what everyone's talking about. It's doubles, right? Doubles is basically a hammered pair. What you're really trying to focus on is each one of those pairs. You're trying to, like, you know, see a pattern, see potential problems. You know, is your second shot high? Is your second shot low? Maybe fix your grip a little bit. Maybe you have to focus a little harder on the target, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and demo this. I've only got a couple rounds. We'll do a reload. But this is doubles. Pretty easy, you know. We're at 7 yards right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you my group. And really at 7 yards, keeping them all in the A zone, I would say that's kind of a good start, and that's a good, like, benchmark to know that you've kind of figured out that portion of it. The other really important thing with doubles is we're keeping the splits around 0.2 of a second. So my splits are 22, 20, 23, 22, 21, 22, right? You're gonna need 2/10 second splits for a 2-second bill drill, because like we said in the dry fire video, after your first shot, which needs to be under a second, you need 5 consecutive 2/10 second splits, right? Let's go ahead and look at our group here. All right, real nice, tight group. Don't really have any other drills if you're the hoser type shooter. The best thing to do is just isolate out the marksmanship and recoil control portion of it. Yeah, that's kind of the tricks I've used at the range to try to get people to be under that, you know, elusive 2-second bill drill. If you haven't seen my dry fire video, go ahead and take a look at that. A lot of good stuff in there. I definitely recommend trying that before you come to the range. I think it's going to be a lot easier if you know you can get the gun out of the holster in less than a second, and then you can kind of figure out that second portion after that. But anyways,